Nottingham is aiming to become the very first carbon neutral city in the country by 2028. That's 22 years ahead of a national target. Well, the ambitious vision has been adopted by the City Council today, with promises that there will be new policies and plans developed to deliver decarbonisation of the city.
Well, that would include the way we power our homes and businesses, the way we dispose of waste, and the way we travel around the city. Sarah Teal's been taking a closer look at all of this. It's clearly a huge task there.
Well, very much so, because the aim is to make the city carbon neutral in just 8 years. Now, this is a major leap ahead of the UK pledge to become the first nation to cut harmful pollutants to practically zero by 2050. But the City Council has produced this, the Nottingham 2028 Carbon Neutral Charter, which looks at some of the ways in which this could be achieved. The Council says it is ambitious, but they're committed to it.
It's vital because of the changes that are already taking place on the planet. We've been watching with horror what's happening in Australia, the floods in Indonesia. We have to act now to stop this deterioration in the global environment, which will impact on people in Nottingham in the long run. It's vital that we take emergency action.
Well, this document also looks at the local impact of climate change. A new record temperature was set in Nottingham last July of 36 degrees Celsius. And the council warns the city must prepare for the impact of extreme weather in the future, becoming more resilient to floods, for example. The city has already met its 2020 target of reducing CO2 emissions, with the latest figures showing a 41% reduction for the city. Now, that's been achieved by 40,000 energy efficiency improvements to homes, the introduction of the UK's largest electric bus fleet, and the 20-mile electric tram network, supported, of course, by the workplace parking levy, which discourages driving to work. But going forward, the population in Nottingham is expected to grow by some 14,000 people between now and 2028, and that comes with a possible 9,000 new homes. And of course, with every new home and citizen, there are further demands for more transport. The city has a history of policies to encourage the use of public transport. So will this new charter mean misery for drivers? Hugh Caswell has been investigating.
There are more than 100,000 vehicles registered in Nottingham. Fewer than 500 of them are classed as ultra-low emission. To hit that carbon neutral target, almost all of them will need to be switched in the next 8 years.
It is a radical suggestion, and one that really puts into perspective the scale of the task the city has set itself. Because while emissions here are on the way down, it's only by about 4% a year. They need to be dropping by more than 22% to achieve that 2028 goal.
That means a lot of people making the switch.
I already try and do as much as I can for the environment anyway, so I don't personally have too much of a problem with it.
I think in 8 years, I think everyone will be moving that way, so I don't think it'd really matter that much.
In adopting the charter this afternoon, the City Council does acknowledge that it's an ambitious target.
We cannot do it alone, but we hope that as people understand what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve, they will see the benefits for the city.
Would you look at going even more radical still and looking at things like even banning petrol and diesel vehicles in the city?
No. That is a legislative process that we're not intending to do.
If the population trends continue, though, it's projected the amount of miles driven on Nottingham's roads will increase by 2.5% over the next 8 years. Over the last 8, there's been a slight drop in the amount of bus journeys, but a big increase in people using trams. The Charter says there'll have to be a much bigger shift to public transport to get on track to being carbon neutral.
So transport, just one area Nottingham needs to look at to reach that carbon neutral target. Other areas being considered are increasing recycling and reducing household waste, improving the energy efficiency of the council's 135,000 properties, increasing the renewable generation of electricity, including solar, and encouraging businesses to become more sustainable. Now, this charter also predicts that aiming for a cleaner environment will be of huge benefit to the economy, creating a whole new sector in the efficiency industry, leading to thousands of new jobs.
Sarah, thanks very much indeed.